Yo, it's your boy ZG. We got a very good episode for you guys today. Welcome back to another episode of the Zach Smack Show. We don't got Kahari today, unfortunately, but we got Zooter.
Yo, I'm here missing Kari today, but we're going to have a good episode, so let's get into it.
We got a really good episode for you guys today. I would love to introduce special guest, number one golf handicapper on the entire planet, Chris Money Mills Locks. Thank you so much for being here today, brother.
What's up, boys?
Yep.
Super excited to be on and shoot the shit and get all into it.
100%.
Let's get right into it, Chris. We're going to ask you a question first. What made you the number one golf bettor in the world, and what made you choose golf over any other sport?
Yeah, I mean, I guess results speak for themselves. I think that you don't call yourself number one until you can actually compare yourself to everybody else that's in the space. Over the last 16 months, I think we've hit 17 outright winners. And if you know, when it comes to golf, picking one player to win out of 140 people that are playing every single week, those numbers are pretty much untouched. But yeah, golf is obviously extremely difficult. So we don't only do outright winners, but we do first round leaders. We do tournament props. We do daily matchups. So just, you have to try and hit those singles every single day to keep that balance boosted. But it's awfully nice when you're hitting these, 200 to ones, which we've done several times over the last year and a half.
That's crazy. So you're talking about all these different ways to bet. Like how do you get an edge in gambling in golf?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's certain ways to do it in NFL, hockey, and everything like that. But how do you get an edge in golf? Because that game is hard to play. I couldn't imagine how hard it could be to bet on.
Yeah, I mean, what's nice about it is it's very much a niche market, right? Like, because this industry is so much, it's just become the mainstream. Everybody you talk to the next week, they're a capper, right? There's someone, they've gone a hot streak. Next thing you know, they're selling picks. So where I really found my opportunity in my niche was in golf betting, because it is something that not everybody does and not everyone understands how to do. So just like the other sports, you're looking for value, you're looking for the lines, you're looking for the edge. But when it comes to golf, there's a few, key factors that I look at. So I'm always looking at the following. So the form of the players, right? So in golf, anybody who golfs, you can go out one day, shoot 100, and then the next day the putts are dropping, you're shooting in the 80s. It's no different than it is on the tour for these guys, right? All that changes is a few little things. So, recent form is something that I always can take into consideration. And then there's a term that's called horses for courses. So there's guys that just play really well on certain type of courses. So whether that's a long course, short course, high rough, short, small greens, big greens, bunkers. So just taking into consideration on how they've performed on these courses, for in the previous years. And then of course you got to look at data. You got to look strokes gained off the tee, through the bag, approach, scrambling, all the different things that are going to contribute to who am I leaning towards this week versus any other week. And then one thing that comes into a huge advantage for me is that I have a photographic memory. So
Nice.
I remember every single shot that every single player has hit pretty much as long as I've been following golf. So I know that if a guy, let's say Victor Hovland, who hits a baby draw left to right, if I know he's 315 off the tee and there's a tucked pin on the green on the right-hand side, I know that there's a really good chance that his proximity to the hole is going to be inside 10 feet from that range. So if I'm, let's say, live betting, for example, and I want to get an edge, and I think there's a very good opportunity he's going to birdie this hole, it's an opportunity for you to bet that live and to get that juice before the birdie's even made. So you're getting the odds at, let's say, even par when in the next 5 minutes he's going to be 100. So those are the type of things that we're always looking at, not only pre-tournament, but live as we're live betting as well.
Wow, Chris, that's amazing to hear, man. You're making me just can't wait for Thursday at this point to just load up on some picks with you. But let me ask you a question. Do you do all this research yourself, or do you use any models or any analysis or AI, which has been really big over the past couple of years with when you put in your picks?
Yeah, I'd like to say that I have, a secret sauce or a special formula that I'm using, or any sort of, third-party resources, but honestly, it's all up here.
Wow.
So it's just intuition. It's, why do I pick guys? It's, hey, maybe I saw last week he may have not been in the tournament, but I know that he finished strong, right? He wasn't in contention, but he went out and shot a 63, gained 4 strokes through the bag on that Sunday. And then I go and I see that he's undervalued the following week, right? That's a big part about golf, is it could be anyone's week that week, right? All these guys are very good at golf. It's just a matter if they're able to put it all together that week. So a lot of what I do is just understanding the game and following every single shot that every single player hits, honestly, through 72 holes. I got 4 monitors. I got several different books up all at once. I got the shot tracker over here. I got ESPN Plus over here. I literally am watching every single shot that's hit, pretty much the entire tournament.
That's crazy. That's wild. That's like me with sport betting. I'm always looking at different TVs and stuff, just different games going on. That's wild. We talk about the whole betting and just the overall aspect of like just strategy and winning money. But like, I gotta ask, like, what's your favorite tournament or just series, PGA, Live? Like, what's your favorite to bet on?
Yeah, the favorite for me is the majors. And that just comes with the coverage. That comes with the opportunity. And the best tournament in the world to bet on is the Masters.
Of course.
And the reason for that is because of the technology that they've put together.
Mhm.
So if anybody follows, golf, most of the time you have your coverage, your golf channel up until CBS takes over, NBC, etc. But what's really unique about the Masters is they have a camera that follows around every single player that's in the tournament, every shot. So whether it's a flop shot, chip, putt, drive out of the trees, you have a cameraman, a camera crew following every single player. So you could literally follow and understand how that player is playing, not just following a shot tracker. So you have ESPN Plus, which to a certain extent kind of gets you inside the game a little bit more because you can see that, but that's only featured groups, right? So you're not
Gotcha.
seeing these guys unless they're put on TV. So the best part about betting, in general, is betting golf live is because of the fluctuation of the odds. It happens so quick. So if you can get that edge and you can understand how a player is performing, getting into that, and that's why we've crushed the Masters year over year. And I'm excited for this week because the U.S. Open, it's just insane coverage. And the best part about this tournament is so many people can qualify, right? You can be a club pro guy working at Dick's Sporting Goods and still qualify for this tournament. So you look at the field of 140 guys, I'm already dismissing 85 of those guys. 85 of those people in this tournament will not win, have no chance.
Gotcha.
So when I'm going and looking at the betting board, I already know that I can remove, 2/3 of the field. Similar to what Brooks Koepka used to say in his interviews. I know I've beaten half the field before I even, step foot on the course.
That's some confidence.
I
I like that shit a lot.
I say that's confidence.
Chris, let me ask you, did you grow up playing golf? Like, is golf your favorite sport? Anything like that as well?
So I grew up in a hockey rink. And then I guess, you do golf in the summers, right? Coming from up north. You snow on the ground all winter. And then as soon as it's nice, as soon as there's just a little bit of sunlight, you're hitting the course. So it's pretty much in the rink or on the course. So I've been playing golf my whole life as well. I wouldn't say I'm a stick, but, can get it around pretty good. Made a few bucks playing on the course myself as well. But yeah, I think that's part of it. I think being super passionate about the game, understanding the rules of the game, understanding all that stuff has played, a big role in my impact. And that's, one thing that I love about the communities that I run is that these people, people are sports bettors and they just want to win. But it's more enjoyable if you understand what you're doing and if you like what you're betting on. And a lot of people have come to my community having never watched golf ever, like don't even know what golf is. And they're glued to their, TV, to their computer, to their phone for like 8 hours a day on a Saturday, Sunday, watching their bets cash, which is awesome.
Wow, that dude, kind of. I don't even like know where to go. Honestly, like just like listening to it, like you're honestly just kind of like nailing me right now with the whole golf everything, man. I guess my next question is that you have a subscription for your picks, do you not?
Yeah, we do. So we have a community. It's called the Money Mills Locks Community, VIP full access. Ultimately, what we do is we provide people with a full access VIP betting experience. So we have a community Discord, and very different than a lot of other people who are in this space, right? You pay, they send you picks, and that's the extent of it. They win, they lose, you resubscribe, whether that works for you. And I said to myself when I started this and I wanted to do this, it was more than that. I wanted to create a community, almost like a family, because betting can be very lonely, especially when you're not winning. So for me, it was not only do I want to provide winning picks, but I want to provide, an environment, a community of people where people can chat, people can joke, sending memes, different channels for different sports. Not only that, I actually have access to me. right? I'm not accessible 24/7,
Mm.
but if someone needs, some additional support on how to, bankroll management, for example, or if I'm putting out a bunch of picks, it's which ones do I like more than other ones, unit management, etc. And we've built a super, super strong community, which I take great pride in. But we also do a lot of events, so giveaways and tickets. At the end of the day, I try to treat people as if how I wanted to be treated back in the day when I was doing this by myself. So yeah, we've built a pretty great community, offering from weeks all the way down to lifetime. I mean, we have people that are tapped in and they're not going anywhere.
And Chris, for our viewers, for this special episode right now, I know me and you talked privately. We're going to be doing a special code for them, correct?
We will, yeah, for sure. So we do promos once in a while, but for the US Open and just obviously for you guys having me here, 50% off first month. So if anybody wants to get in, they want to try it, they want to see what it's all about. Pretty confident once people try it, they typically don't leave. But yeah, 50% if you guys want to throw that link up. But also too, I think I gave you the promo code as well, right?
Yes, you did. And I'm going to make sure that that's on the clips as well so everyone could take advantage of that great discount. 50% off Money Mills Locks. You guys are going to absolutely rake. You guys are hearing what this guy is saying. This is the best fucking guy on the planet to do it. Ross.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking your picks, man. Like I said, I don't bet a whole lot on golf. I got my favorite players.
You're starting now.
And I'm starting now, but I got my favorite players, and for me, like, I loved Bryce DeChambeau, bro. I love just like his personality and everything like that.
Live.
But I tell you what, I mean, from what you're saying, that these subscribers to your betting subscription are gonna get a personal and a more like private feeling when coming to taking picks and risking their own hard-earned money. So I love that you make them feel comfortable enough to do such things. So I love that.
It's personal,
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, what would you say? Like I said, my favorite golfer. Who would you say is like the most like disrespected golfer? Like just somebody who always flies under the radar, who always has a chance of winning.
Daniel Berger.
Daniel Berger. Daniel Berger has to win in order to be disrespected, right?
Yeah, that's true. He's getting up there though.
Yeah, he won the Charles Schwab like 4 years ago.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
He won. No, there's a few guys. So the thing is, when you look at golf betting, and you already kind of mentioned this, is you have your favorite players. You look at someone like a Bryson, and let's just call a spade a spade. That's someone who was absolutely hated in the game of golf and completely flipped the way that the people saw him.
Mm-hmm.
He is now a fan favorite. He is the guy to bet on. He's different. He hits the ball a long way. Like, he's awesome, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you get that emotional connection, and people will throw money on that person just because they like that person.
I did it.
Doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good bet.
Yeah.
It just, it's more of a emotional, commitment and investment more than it is mental. So I look at the board this week and I go, okay, well, Bryson, he's loved by everyone, right? Let's just compare that to other sports. You got the LA Lakers, right? You got the Yankees. You got these other teams where if they were playing and they were any other team, if they were to win, maybe minus 110, but because it's those teams, they're probably minus 130.
That's literally
the same thing applies to Bryson.
So
Bryson realistically should be probably plus 1,200 to win the US Open, but because he's so popular and people love him, and even people who don't know what golf is know who Bryson is, his juice is like plus 800. Like, so for me, there's no value at Bryson at plus 800 because I know that he should probably be in the plus 1,200. So that's someone who I'm going to look at and go, I'm going to wait because I have the ability to live bet, and I'm going to see how Bryson goes, right? I know that Bryson is typically a fast starter. If he's going to be there on Sunday, he's probably going to get off to a good start on Thursday. So when he's teeing off, I'm going to follow him. If I see that he's striking the ball well, he's getting there, maybe he's just missing a few putts, those putts will eventually fall, right? He's a top 20, top 25 putter when he's putting the ball well. But that's probably when I'm going to get him. I'm not going to do a pre-tournament bet on him because there's no value there, right? Best case scenario, he could potentially bogey one of the first few holes, and he's going to go from plus 800 to plus 1,400. And at that point, I'm going to hammer him.
So who would you say, I like that point a lot, Chris, who would you say, other than Scotty Scheffler, is just the most consistent golfer in the game right now?
Scotty Scheffler is so much better than everybody else.
Right.
Like, it's crazy. Like, I'm sure you guys have seen, like, since the year 2000, when Tiger Woods was Tiger Woods 2000, I think he went into the British Open and he was minus 110. You actually, you could bet the field and make more money than betting on Tiger Woods.
It's incredible. It's insane.
Scotty Scheffler is the closest it's ever been to that. Like this week, he's going in. I think he's plus 250. Last I saw.
Yeah, I saw
Which
that
again is
250.
crazy, right? Like bet $100 pre-tournament. There's 140 guys, $100 to win 250. Like that's low. But he's shown us time after time. He's won 3 of his last 4. So like Scotty Scheffler is the clear-cut #1 player that's going to win this week, and he probably will. But what's great about golf betting, and the sites have adjusted because they want people to play. They don't want people to hammer Scotty. That's boring, right? They want people to go after these big long shots because long shots are meant to lose. But these markets that we have in the books now is you can bet without Scotty. They actually give you a leaderboard that removes Scotty entirely.
On Hard Rock, they just started doing it, Chris.
Yeah, so on Hard Rock, they actually have without Scotty, without Rory, without Bryson, and without John Rahm. So my picks this week, I'm going to be using that market. I may live bet and give out some live suggestions, which again, that won't be live. But pre-tournament, you can get guys that are maybe 60 to 1 to win, including all those guys, but you can get them at 40 to 1, excluding the top 4 players. Like that's absent, it's a no-brainer. So I'll be definitely, my VIPs will be getting those picks, because if I can pick a guy to finish 5th and he still wins me a bag, I mean, that's a pretty low risk opportunity.
No, without a doubt. And, talking about bets here, what would you say is the worst beat you've ever had and the best win you've ever had?
So worst beat, I'll never forget it. I'll never get over it. So last year, the Wyndham Championship, Max Gracerman holed out for eagle on the 14th hole at the Wyndham. He went up 6 at the time. By the time he went from making that eagle to teeing off, he went out of bounds and then made a 9 on the par 4. So he was +5. So his 6-shot lead went down to 1. He then proceeded to make a birdie on the 16th hole, but then 4-putted on the 17th hole, and then went bogey, par, and lost to Aaron Rai by 1. So we had him at 150 to 1, and he had a 6-shot lead with 5 holes to play.
Isn't that funny how you always lose by 1 in these bets sometimes? It's always 1. It's always 1. And it's like, why did I pick that guy?
That is so sick.
Well, you talk about your biggest beat. What would you say is your biggest win?
Biggest win would be Hideki Matsuyama at the Genesis last year. Just on pure win, I think it was about 130,000. So we had him pre-tournament, and what's funny about that one is I actually gave it out as a free pick, and he was plus 7,500.
Wow!
So gave it out free, posted on Instagram, so everybody cashed on that. But he went into the final round. He was 6 back on that Sunday. And anybody who follows golf, Hideki Matsuyama, he's the type of guy where if he's hitting his irons well and he's putting well, he can go super low. And the course, typically plays a little bit tougher on a Sunday afternoon when you're trying to win. So he just went out and posted a number, and I think we got him live again at another 200 to 1 because it was just really good value. So I think we hit him 3 times over the course of the 3 days, and that was a huge cash. But really, I think the biggest odds that's gotten the most attention and really how it helped get this going was last year in January at the Sony Open. We hit Grayson Murray 500 to 1. Wow. So that was the biggest one.
He died, right?
He did. Yeah. We just celebrated his 1-year anniversary. He fortunately took his own life. He was just battling with alcohol and that sort of stuff. But
that sucks,
man. He's definitely got a soft spot in my heart for sure. Because without him, we wouldn't have got the exposure. Hard Rock called us out, and VR Betting, Action Network. It was, my account essentially went from here to here overnight because no one had ever seen a golf ticket like that.
Didn't you get called out by Hard Rock once?
Yeah, I did.
That was pretty funny.
For some
he sent me that. He was so hyped.
18-leg parlay hit. I got called out by Hard Rock one time. But, dude, I've been running so bad with the NBA and all that. But whatever. I'm going to win it all back when the Panthers win the Cup. So, Chris, let's throw it away from golf for a minute here. I know you watch hockey as well. You said you obviously grew up in the ice rink. Tell me your analysis real quick on the series of what you think and what you expect from tonight's outcome.
Yeah, I think this is going to go 6 or 7, I think. And I hope it goes at least 6 because I'm going to head down to Miami or Fort Lauderdale for game 6. So we'll see you there for sure. Honestly, I think tonight's a bit of a trap game. I think that everybody saw the first 2 games, goals. And you have the, the overs at 6.5, and it's plus money at 6.5.
Mhm.
So it just feels like it's going to be one of those 2-2 games. Maybe goes to overtime again for the third time. But I think that people will be surprised. I think people are expecting fireworks. I think the books are hoping everybody's on the over. It just feels like an under game to me. But we have been doing very well in our same game parlays this year. So I thought what I'd do is give you guys a little bit of a juicer. So if anybody is listening and they want to get in on this,
Let's do it.
I'll give you this. So let's find it.
I got Hard Rock open right now.
You got Hard Rock open right
He's
now.
He's gonna throw it on. I'm gonna follow it.
All right. So it's a 5-game parlay.
Okay.
So I got Brad Marchand over 1.5 shots.
Okay.
The boy's been shooting.
The rat.
We got Sammy Bennett over 0.5 points. So we got Sam Bennett to get a point. I got McDavid over 2 points. And then I'm going to stack that with Draisaitl 1 assist. And then I got Evan Bouchard over 2.5 shots.
Love it.
And that might seem like a lot for a D-man, but Evan Bouchard has 15 shots in the last 2 games.
Yeah, he's been letting that thing rip, and they've been letting him do it too.
They have. Yeah,
wild.
They want it from the outside, right?
Exactly.
They're okay with that. They just don't want the guys coming in down low.
Yeah.
So that pays you plus 1,100.
Wow, it's 9-1 now.
Is it 9-1?
Yeah.
Wow, I move lines, man. I gave that out to my community this morning. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's 9-1.
So if you wanted to stack that, you could probably do Panthers plus 2.5.
Yeah.
Add plus 2.5 for the Panthers because I think it'll be close. That'll probably get it back up to plus 1,100. And then if you want to put Panthers, or you could take that out and just have Panthers to win, it'll probably jump up like plus 1,750. How close am I?
1,750.
Boom.
This is what he does.
That's wild.
This is what he does. Chris, I'm going to wrap it up with you here with the ending question for golf. We're going to throw it back to the U.S. Open. Can you give our listeners a little sneak peek? Tell us who's on your mind, whether it's a first-round leader, prop, something that we can give out right now, so then they can use the code at SMACS. SMACS is the code, everyone. If you guys want to get Money Mills Locks picks, you guys want to pay your rent, pay your mortgage, pay your car payment with the U.S. Open this week, make sure you follow the link, click on that, SMACS, and we're going to get that all set up for you guys. But Chris, to answer my question, who do you think? One little pick for us right now.
So one little pick. I wouldn't touch him just in the open market because, like I said, Scotty Scheffler's involved in that. Rory, if he fixed his driver, he could be dangerous. Bryson and John Rahm, they could be hit or miss, but they seem to have good form coming off live. So I really do like it if your book offers it. I know in Florida it does, FanDuel it does, which I saw. Remove those 4 guys. So winner without those 4, Sam Burns plus 4,000. That is a pick that I gave out this morning because I didn't want to wait. I think it might drop. I see that more in the plus 3,000 range. So if it does drop, you're getting some value there. But I really, really like that.
So you're saying just remove the top 4, correct?
Correct, yeah. So if you go in the winners, I think if you drop down, you can see winners without, and those 4 guys are listed. Pick that. You can find Sam Burns in the plus 4,000 range.
Wow.
And if you're looking for, all the listeners, if you're looking for free picks, football's around the corner, right? You don't have much going on the next 3 months, but you have golf every single week.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do that month, you come in, you get 4 tournaments. So at the end of the day, it's, really, per day, it's really not that much. But get in, get paid. If it makes sense for you, great. But follow me on Instagram, Money Mills Locks. I post free plays for people as well.
And I hit that Keith Mitchell, baby, first round leader at 30-1. That was awesome. Or 60-1. 60-1.
Yeah.
60-1. That was a big one.
That was what, a month ago? I gave out 1 pick on social media, first round leader, and it smacked 140 guys.
Yeah. I had it, Ross.
That's what we do,
$3 grand on $50. Anything else for Money Mills?
No, dude. I honestly, I had such a blast talking to you, man. Learning so much about this, and I can't wait to get subscribed and to take your picks every week or however often you post.
I appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thanks so much. Appreciate it, man.
Later.
Take care. Alrighty, guys. So that was Money Mills Locks. Make sure you guys go follow his socials. Instagram, Money Mills Locks. You guys want to win some money with golf? I'm telling you, I'm winning with him, and I'm not even subscribed. And you best believe I'm now subscribed. Very good friend of mine. So Money Mills Locks, everyone. Next, we're going to be throwing it over. Ross, I want you to introduce who we got.
Oh, we got some more guests today with us, guys. We got Cole Kotze. You are a forward for the Orlando Solar Bears in the ECHL.
Yep.
Yep, love that. And we also got Timmy Kent. Iowa Heartlanders, baby.
How's it going,
I
brother?
love it, man. I love it. How you doing? Both
Good,
ECHL guys are first official pro athletes on Zach Smack's signed pro athletes. We've had pro athletes in the past, but we have signed pro athletes today. So a little bit about you guys. We want a little bit to talk about your business and what you guys got going on, right? You guys are two out of how many people run SoFlo hockey?
There's 4 of us that run.
4 of us. So 2 out of the 4. Give us a little rundown of what SoFlo is. I'm a hockey guy. I know what it is, but we got a lot of people, especially on our viewers for our last hockey stuff. They want to know more about hockey in South Florida. So I'd like to give you guys a little bit of an opportunity to shout you guys out, see what you guys are about, and see if we got any hockey fans that want to join.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, first of all, thanks for having us. We're happy to be here. SoFlo is something that Timmy and I created with a couple buddies. 4 or 5 years ago, we created it. Was initially a pickup hockey game at a pretty dilapidated old rink in Pompano.
Oh, yeah, we know about that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it's So we created this cool little concept where we draft teams. We play 3-on-3 on this small sheet of ice, and I guess over the last couple of years, it's evolved tremendously. We've involved, or I guess gathered a lot of NHL players, college players, junior players, and now it's sort of turned into more of a brand, more of a culture, a movement that's not only hockey specific, but media oriented as well. And it's really fun to be a part of. It happens in the summers, and it's a great time.
Yeah, no, dude. Like I said, I've known a lot about it, and I see the quality of talent you guys have come out to those. And I mean, Timmy, for you, being part of that big 4 that run it, what do you think's what's the big takeaway from SoFlo? What separates it from other talented, little hockey 3-on-3 stuff going on around the country?
I mean, I don't know. It's unique. When we started it, we didn't really expect it to get where it is now, but it's just unique. I think a lot of NHL players and professionals come down to Florida to train, and that just kind of brings a lot more good players into what was already a good player pool down here. And I think the fact that the 4 of us that started it are all best friends, and we're kind of competing against each other's teams, makes it competitive. And then you bring in all the NHL guys and pros that come into our teams, they kind of get that competitive edge too. And there's a lot of chirping going on. We're going out to dinners all together. The league is going out to events and nightlife per se and stuff, and everyone's kind of the camaraderie's good. So I don't know, man. I guess just over time, it kind of created a life of its own, and we never really saw it going there. We just kind of rolled with it every summer, used it as training. It's game reps. It's all offense. It's just 3v3 sheets. So yeah, it just kind of took a life of its own, and it's pretty sweet, honestly. It's kind of what we look forward to all summer. It only runs for 5-6 weeks, but
yeah,
it does a lot in that time.
I bet, especially high talent. I talk about it and go through it, and you guys draft teams like you said. And Cole, you're running Team Black this year for SoFlo.
Yeah,
and you got some pretty crazy names on that. For me personally, I couldn't imagine stepping on the same sheet as some of these guys. So you got Trevor Zegras from the Anaheim Ducks. And you got Andrew Peak, a local Florida boy for the Bruins. That's crazy. How is that going to go? What do you guys got going on? Especially, I think Mark Sherman made it pretty clear that you guys don't have a championship yet.
Yeah, no, we don't have a championship. I mean, listen, Rome wasn't built in a day,
Yeah.
So, Zegras was here a couple summers ago. Don't know if he's coming back or not this summer, but yeah, I think that's just how we roll every summer. We attract, NHLers, and they love to be a part of it. Like Timmy said, it's a fun, it's competitive, and they like getting those competitive juices going in the summer. So, I mean, to answer your question, we've been building this team for a while. I think it's going to be a great summer for us. And, we at the end of the day, there's a bunch of dogs in the league, and when you have guys that want to win, it makes it that much harder. And that's the beauty about what we have is it's really hard to win every summer just because there's so many dogs in the league. So many guys want to win. And, that obviously it's how it is in the NHL and in college hockey and in pro hockey. But, we get that in the summer as well, and it makes it that much harder to win, which makes us better at the end of the day.
Yeah, funny part of that is like you see like the NHL playoffs now, like how physical it is. Like it's not that in the SoFlo regular season, but like come SoFlo playoffs, like you're gonna leave pretty banged up. I remember one year I got hit knee on knee. I don't even know if I should say his name or not. I don't want to do him like that.
Shouldn't.
But yeah, I don't want to do him like that. But big NHL guy, like 6'5", no name, and I was out.
I got an idea who that is.
Yeah.
You probably do.
And I didn't play again until my first game of the season in college. I was out for like 3 months with like a torn MCL. And it was SoFlo playoffs. I obviously had to finish the game because it's SoFlo playoffs.
Guys are playing hurt. Guys are playing hurt in this league, and they're blocking shots, they're fighting, they're finishing hits, and from 15, 16-year-olds all the way to the NHLers, it's intense. It's fun. Yeah.
I played in my own 3-on-3 league, and that's how it is. Regular season, have fun, try to do some crazy shit that you just wouldn't expect, and then playoffs come and everybody's throwing bodies, and that's my favorite part about hockey. I was that big boy, so I love doing that.
Yeah, every team needs a couple of those big boys in SoFlo to kind of handle the heavy lifting when it comes.
Zach, what do you got? I feel like I'm taking a little bit of the reign
not at
over
all.
here.
I was just gonna ask Cole. So, what would you say is the next step in your career, Cole?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just getting better every day. I know that's kind of cliche to say, but I've Timmy and I both, and honestly, a lot of us, we've had a lot of setbacks, a lot of injuries. So for me personally, first of all, just getting healthy. Just had shoulder surgery. So get healthy, get better every day. Have a couple short-term goals this summer, but next year will be my full first year of pro hockey. So just, have a good year and continue to stack, good days together and a good year together next year. So just get better.
That's awesome, man. And what would you say is the biggest difference going from and for you too, Timmy, what's the biggest difference when you're going in every day in college and then you go to be pro, and how much different is obviously the players you're playing against and just the environment in general?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, college hockey, it's amateurs, right? You're there with underclassmen, guys that don't necessarily maybe take care of their body as well, or put as much work or effort into it. Not saying they don't. At the end of the day, everyone works hard and has a passion and compete level. But pro is a different animal. It's just, there's older players. You have guys that are 30 years old, 35 years old, and it's a job. So everyone's out there. It's very role oriented. A lot of players have different style of games, and it's niched out pretty well. So yeah, pro's definitely different, and I'm excited for it.
Same question for you, Timmy.
Yeah. Cole hit it good, but I would say, it is kind of like Cole said, different. It's long too, college. I know for me, you play 30 games. For Cole, 35 to 40 if you go deep in the tournament. Pro, you're playing double that. So there's some games your body's not feeling great, but you got a game. Once the game gets started, you kind of get into it. But yeah, every player that's in pro is probably, one of the best guys, if not the best on their college team. So, you got to keep working on your game and, making, your game well-rounded and, keep getting better at the stuff you're good at because, competition's there, and you obviously want to keep climbing if you're playing. So, it's competitive, and, it's a mental battle sometimes too because, depending on where you're at in the swing of things, if you have injuries or depending on what your role is, you got to play through some things. You know what I mean? It's just the reality of the situation.
Gotta do it, man.
Because
Everybody.
if you don't, your job, might not be there. So, it's just the reality of the situation. You got to be, mentally, just do it.
I feel like after every playoff series in the NHL, after every Stanley Cup win, every Stanley Cup loss, there's always something. Oh, he's got a Chuck with the sternum, or I think I can't remember who it was last year, had a broken foot, played through the whole series.
It's crazy. I saw that too.
How do you do that, bro?
I'll tell you the best way to do it is just eat blizzards during intermission.
Eat blizzards. That's all you got to do, bro. I love it.
I would say too, it was honestly probably an easier transition for us because we were around pros for the last 3-4 summers who were, we're obviously soaking it in. They were kind of telling us, we were soaking in everything they were saying, and kind of you hear it, maybe not believe, all of it. And then, but like you do, like, you know, because then you get close with them, and, you know, so they kind of prepared like us for, like, you know, getting into pro
Yeah.
and what it was going to be like, you know, and kind of, so we were like more prepared probably than most.
Well, it's cool. It's cool too because we have such a large, demographic, right? Like we have so many different players and leagues. You have guys that play in the NHL. You have guys that play minor pro. You have players that play in Europe, right? So we get bits and pieces from everyone, which is cool. And I think that's the beauty of our league and why guys like it, you know.
Yeah, going back to your league, then just bringing it up was perfect. As going into my next question, like, you know, what does SoFlo bring on the table? Like, what is it? What do you guys offer that these other leagues don't? I mean, you know, you guys got elite competition. You guys got elite names on your rosters, and now I believe you're starting to do younger kids, correct? Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, what do those kids need to know?
Listen,
I tell you what, so many people have like, you know, like tried to do it in other states and like made Instagrams and stuff. And we like, you know, like go for it. It'd be cool if there was other leagues and we went and, you know, maybe played against some of them, but they
We're
all
doing it.
kind of like, and we are
We're going
now,
to
we're going to Minnesota to play.
Yeah, I
against
heard
some
about
guys.
that. That's sick. Is that like the Minnesota League that they have? They're the big one, right?
No, we're doing our own thing. I mean,
Oh, okay.
honestly, to answer your question, like no one does what we do. There's a lot of leagues and 3-on-3 stuff going out there, but like at the core of what we do, it's just it's very culture oriented. Everyone loves to be a part of it because it's tight knit. It's super competitive, and you don't see a lot of what you see down here in other leagues. And I think that's why, you know, we have such a cool concept. And then, yeah, we're going to Minnesota soon, 2 or 3 weeks, and you know, we're playing the big dogs over there. So
yeah, trust me, I was the same way growing up in Minnesota. Man, they're you know, the standard of hockey, man. What's the state of hockey? So I mean, yeah. So I mean, I guess going a little bit away from SoFlo because you know, we want to show people what you guys have. I mean, we want to test your hockey knowledge a little bit. You know, we were talking.
We're game.
We were talking about it, and Chris had his say, and you know, Stanley Cup Finals, Florida Edmonton, round 2. Like, what do you guys got?
Oh man, well I tell you what, like Florida winning last year was really cool. Like it was great for hockey down here, which is awesome because like you as well, like grew up down here playing like we did too, and like it's only gotten bigger. And Florida getting good again is like makes it, you know, like the hockey culture is kind of coming back in a big wave, which is awesome. I would love to see like Connor McDavid get one, you know, personally.
Yeah.
But
Fuck my 10K ticket, huh?
hey, I hope that hits for you. You know, but, you know, you want me to be honest. I'd love to see him get one. You know, it'd be cool. He's kind of dominating out there. Pretty cool to see.
Yeah,
so.
no, I mean he's the best hockey player on the planet, and of course, like you want him to get one. He's the best. What do you think?
I just think what's happening is iconic. You know, you get a rematch, a part 2 of what we saw last summer. Like Timmy said, I'd love to see McDavid get one. We grew up in Florida. The Panthers winning, you know, is obviously great.
I remember when you could get nosebleeds for $12 just scalping them.
Now it's $2,000 for a ticket.
I was talking to my dad about it. He's like, "What do you mean you're spending $400 on a ticket?" He's like, "They're $100." I was like, "I don't know when the last time you went to a fucking Panther game, but that is not
Back
how much."
when I used to go.
Yeah, I'm like, you fucking. It's the Stanley Cup final. It's not the last game of the season. But yeah, no, I like I said, I always like to bring it back to how the Panthers have just progressed, and I mean, like, what do you guys think, like, I mean, what, like, for our Panther, like, viewers and fans, like, you know, what's the steps that the Panthers should take on a professional level, skill-wise, to beat this team? Because, like before I said, that the Oilers have been nothing but dominant all year.
Yeah. Well, the way the Panthers play is you know, the standard for playoff hockey. You know, you got guys like Tkachuk, Sam Bennett, Marchand, you know, Luostarinen, Lundell. Like, those guys are all just dogs. Like, they play the right way. They play heavy. They play hard, physical hockey. It's the standard. That's why they win. So I think that's why it's cool to see that against, you know, the greatest player, you know, as we think, McDavid. So I think, you know, if they play that way this series, I think they get the job done. I think it's going to be that versus, you know, how elite is Connor McDavid, you know, and Draisaitl, of course. So
yeah, they're balling right now.
If McDavid doesn't win, though, I mean, you guys think you can recruit him to SoFlo or no?
He might
One
need
day
it.
we'll get him.
Dude, yeah, dude, it's funny. Like we always like say, like you never know who's gonna be down this summer. You
Yeah.
know, like because you just never know.
It's actually
Like,
funny. Like we don't really recruit guys. They just
yeah.
it falls in our lap,
Wow.
and a lot of players train down here, and they just hear
Like
about
my
it.
line mate in junior is Noah Kane, like one of my best friends. He's Patty Kane's cousin. Like, and
Yeah.
he said, his cousin was training with Daryl Belfry at Fort Myers at the Everblades rink.
Yeah.
Make him a jersey. You never know, he might make his way over. So I had
Yeah.
I wear 88 in the league because that was my
TK
favorite player.
TK's the
So
Pat-
I made him another 88.
Yeah.
TK's the Patty
Just
Kane
in
of
case,
SoFlo.
but,
Patty Kane of SoFlo all-time
but-
points.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're the all-time point leader. Like,
Yeah, well, me, him, and our two other buddies have the most games played too, so you got to
Okay.
count that in there. But
I mean,
yeah.
I guess we can go back to SoFlo a little bit because like I said, the whole grand scheme thing, I love it. Like I just love 3-on-3. It's close knit quarters. It's all about hand skill, a little bit of speed, and just like IQ and playing close quarter hockey. I mean, like when you guys first started, obviously you guys got some traction and everything like that. But like, what was your who's your your favorite guy when you being part of it for so long? Like, who's your holy shit? Like, there's no way we're gonna get on the same sheet as him right now. Especially being you guys started out as in college,
Yeah,
in juniors
dude,
and
there's
stuff.
so many guys, honestly. I don't know, Galchenyuk, Alex Galchenyuk
Jesus.
was on my team. Yeah, he's actually
Gally's
I
the
have
man.
I have
He
nothing
helped
but
us-
good things
helped
to
us
say
build it.
about
Yeah.
him. He helped us build it. It was
Yeah.
great to us, man. Great to us. Took us all under his wing. Nothing but great things to say about Gally. Like Zadorov.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Lomberg's a great guy
Great
too.
guy.
Yeah. I don't know if you know a whole lot. Top Gun Hockey, Paul Tilley, he runs it out of the ice den. I before I got my real job and everything like that, I'd help him out and do stuff with them, like little kid stuff, and him always out there. And you guys know Pedicaro. He's always
yeah.
out there.
Purdy,
Yeah,
got a
he's a
team.
co-GM now.
Yeah, he's got a team.
Yeah, he's a co-GM of Yellow.
Oh really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh
Yeah.
shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
No, they would be down there, and we'd have camp in the morning, and Lomberg and some of the other guys who out there would sign pucks for the kids and stuff, and that guy's nothing but class, especially down here. He's still a fan favorite. I mean, he is.
Dude,
Lomberg.
he's
He's the
unreal,
man.
man.
He's the man.
unreal.
He'd be more of the man if he answered the DM. that you
yeah.
sent him. But
We'll see.
Other than that,
I mean, so, Mark, you played, Mark, Jesus
our
Christ.
other guy.
Cole, yes.
He was
Cole,
supposed to be on
He
today,
was
but-
supposed to be on here. I've been texting every Mark notification. So, Cole, you played D1, NCAA Division 1. You played for Bentley, Union, and Canisius College, correct?
Yeah.
How was that? D1 hockey, man. That's
It was a roller coaster for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely roller coaster. Wouldn't change a thing for any of it.
Mm.
But it was great. I had a good time at each place.
What a suitcase, eh?
Definitely, definitely a suitcase. But yeah, I'm
No,
grateful
just
for
no, man. Those
for all of
are
it.
those are some elite programs, and I mean, I got nothing but great things to say about Canisius, man. Honestly, just throwing him under the bus, man.
No,
Calling-
it's all jokes.
well,
man. It's all jokes.
I have a friend that went to University of New England, and I also have
UNE?
I have a friend who
Okay.
went there, and I told him, I was like, I have a guy coming on the podcast to play at UNE. He's like, no way. I told
Who
him,
is it?
He's just some kid, just like you wouldn't even know him. Like
Oh,
he's not a
okay,
hockey
okay.
guy. He's just
Oh,
just
okay,
like
okay,
a
gotcha.
student. And I was telling him about it. He's like, I don't think I ever saw him. And Curry College, that's Division III hockey.
Yeah, it is.
So
yeah, it
I mean,
is.
I got a buddy who plays Division III. Like what, obviously D1's your standard, right? That's where you want to be. That's how you
Yeah.
get
that's
noticed,
That's what
right?
that's what you're going
But-
for. Yeah.
But you ended up in the ECHL, and you're playing pro hockey as well. Like, what would you say to the kids who played Division III who may not think they have a chance of playing pro hockey in North America?
Oh, I don't know. Like, I never, I guess you're never a finished product, and I don't know. I never looked that far ahead, honestly. I guess because we had the SoFlo, and I was always playing against these guys that were playing at higher levels and feeling good out there. I never thought it was anything crazy. A little bit of a different path than them. Still on the path. Obviously. But yeah, the best D3 teams I'd say could beat the lower end D1 teams for sure. Like Hobart's won 3 national championships in a row.
Yeah, I
Like,
saw that. That was crazy.
They would have waxed Canisius this year. No offense.
No, they wouldn't have. They wouldn't have.
But you never know.
God.
Like they're good. Like
Yeah.
So like I don't know. For me, like I finished my last year in the Null. I was at UNE. I went back out to the juniors. Did really well in the Null, and then like I just wanted to like play a lot and like be in a good program. And Curry ended up going to the national tournament in D3 3 years in a row when I was there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I started in the SP. I missed like the whole year before senior year of college, and just kind of like grinded, and waited, and kind of like in the back of my mind, kind of like knew, I'd get there, but you just kind of, not every day is a great day always,
Yeah.
TK was the man at Curry. I remember going to his game and he had a bunch of chicks there like screaming his name.
Dude, I mean, hey, that's how you have to do it, bro. You got the puck bunnies everywhere. They're all over
hey,
the place. I
even
promise
at
you.
club schools, there's puck bunnies.
Oh
out
my
there,
God, yeah. I mean,
they don't know any better.
I told you guys, I went to FGCU and I going to some of their club games. Dude, the girls that were on the boards, I'm like, y'all got like.
Oh yeah, dude, the
fucking
Coens told me it's like
wild.
Yeah,
I'm just like sitting there and I'm just like, she knows she's on her phone half the fucking time, has no idea, but she's like, oh, I know him. Like I want to watch him play.
Just like got the roster up
exactly.
on her phone.
Trying to see who's next. Who's who. I mean, Z.
Yeah, no, I got something for them. So Cole, who was the best person you shared the ice with ever? Could have been college.
Probably Jack Hughes.
Wow.
Yeah, and juniors, Jack Hughes, Cole Caulfield. I remember playing against those guys. So many good players though. But
wow.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many good players in college too, but those 2 guys probably stand out.
What about you, Timmy?
Probably SoFlo All-Star game a couple years ago. Andrei Svechnikov was just on a different level.
Oh yeah, he was great.
He's
big names too.
I actually have his brother Gino on my team. Saw him in the gym today. He'll be here all summer, which is huge for us. But yeah, he was just on a different level than everybody else. It was kind of wild. Like he was just doing whatever the fuck he wanted.
Yeah, trust me. My stepfather, he's the GM of the building, Lenovo Center for the Hurricanes. So when the Panthers beat them, I got a little bit of a cold shoulder for sure. And he loves that guy. He loves Svechnikov. He's like, oh, he's the beauty. I mean, hockey's like, for the top 1%ers, and it's cool that you guys are able to say you play pro hockey in North America, and it's definitely somewhere you want to be. ECHL, everybody doesn't really know a whole lot about that. I know a lot about that, working for the Everblades for a few years, like Orlando Solar Bears and Iowa. Iowa's a little bit of a newer program, but how's it feel being part of the Wilds program?
Yeah, it was good this year, honestly. I mean, like since I started in the SP, I was kind of, gonna jump at probably the first thing that came, and I had a buddy on the team actually, Nico Blashman, who was like one of the enforcers of the coast. I remember Cole.
He's our one of the co-founders of SoFlo.
Yeah,
too.
Cole called me. He's like looking at these fights between like these 6'4" guys that are like 250, 260, like 35-year-olds, like, and Blatchy's like 190, 200, like 6 foot flat, and Cole's like, does Blatchy does he fight these guys? And I'm like, Cole, Blatchy is that guy.
He's the one that's throwing them, dude.
Yeah, but Blatchy definitely helped put in a good word. And there was another guy, too, that I played for in the Null that was there, put in a good word. So it ended up working out. And, yeah, loved it.
Yeah, it's definitely a great league to be in. And you being Cole being a part of the Orlando Solar Bears, that's a Lightning organization. And I heard that you like to drop them, too.
Yeah, well, I think that's that's going to be part of my role in pro hockey. Bigger guy, play hard, heavy.
Matt Rempe.
Yeah, he's a little bit bigger than me, but
he's fucking giant. I can't.
Yeah, he's a giant. He's
I
like
watched
6'5".
them when they were at the Cats, and I'm like, how the fuck is this
That's
guy
all the
this
guy
tall?
does, though,
like
bro.
he's disgusting.
That's all he does.
Yeah,
throws him down.
You gotta. I mean, I will say, like the pro level, you got to find a niche. You got to find a role that works for you. But yeah, Orlando's a great organization. Super excited to go back and. Yeah,
they got a pretty big fan base over there, do they not?
Yeah, we play in the Magic Arena.
Yeah,
So
oh
it's
shit,
cool.
Kia Center,
that's sick.
Yeah,
they sell that.
That's
bitch
not
out.
Amway anymore.
No, it's Kia.
Yeah,
Kia
Wow.
Center.
And the only good thing about that, unfortunately, Timmy, you don't have this. They're sponsored. They get a sponsor night by Biz and Biz and Wit.
That happens once a year.
Yeah, I can't
That's
say
sick.
Biz is kind of pissing me off a little bit with all this shit.
He's been better now, though.
Yeah, a little bit. After the Toronto series, he made me a little bit like him a little bit more now.
That guy had so much clout for about 2 weeks, bro.
Yeah, no, dude,
crazy.
he's so fucking stupid. I swear. All
Yeah,
right,
the Granelli, their producer, didn't he sauce us a follow on the SoFlo?
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
tell Biz
Be
to
good.
get on the sheet. Tell
Biz
Biz.
should get on. Yeah,
Biz-
I don't know about now that he's got the gout. He might not be.
Yeah,
able
he
to
might
put his
turn
foot
into
in
dust.
in the skate.
So I mean, ending it. We're coming out. At the end of our time here. Any last words you guys got for SoFlo? Again, couldn't say anything better about the guys. Talking to Mark, unfortunately not here, but good dude, and you guys are class acts, and anyone who's looking to be part of SoFlo, any last words for those kids, and make sure we'll get that out and make sure everybody sees what you guys have to offer.
Yeah, no, definitely check us out on Instagram and TikTok, SoFlo Hockey, and we got a great summer planned. I mean, we're right here in the area at Pompano Beach, and there's going to be a lot of festivities going on. A lot of amenities and obviously
We're
great
selling
hockey.
tickets this year just because the place has been packed a lot of
Yeah.
other years, and people can't watch. We're trying to grow, too. So yeah, it should be good. And
anything
we
fun to do on a Thursday or Friday night,
Yeah, and we appreciate
Right
you
on the
guys
beach.
having us on too. This
Hey,
is cool for
dude.
us, and I see you guys are passionate about it, which is awesome, And this is a great venue too, guys. Not gonna lie. It's
Yeah,
Shout out Ben.
unbelievable,
Shout out
yeah.
Podcast
Shout out
Junkies.
podcast. Hey,
Best
man,
studio.
save some tickets for us for sure. I
got you.
gotta
We're
come
down.
watch some of that.
100%.
We're down for
I
sure.
know the quality of skill that you guys have. I haven't personally experienced it, but what you guys have, so I'm excited to see that. And he'd probably be there sitting there with his fucking mouth open, like there's no way.
Yeah,
Like,
I
holy
definitely
shit.
would. I definitely would. Thank you guys so much. Timmy, Cole, it's been a pleasure. Money Mills Locks. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. It's your boy ZG. We out.
Thank you guys. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
That was a good one,
That was
right?
awesome.
Unreal.